This week on the programme, Edinburgh 1828, the leading European city of anatomical science. The story of how two body snatchers with a craving for cash became Scotland's most prolific serial killers. 16 murders in 10 months period shocked the city in modern science. Join us as we talk Burke and Hare murders on Edinburgh Murders.
Hello dear listener, and welcome to the newest episode of Edinburgh Murders, Scotland's premier podcast for crimes both historic and new in the Lothian and beyond. I'm one of your hosts, Professor Dougal Planty, Defence, and with me, as always, you heard him at the top of the show, it's my co-host, Mr. John Watson.
We've got to keep this up. I feel it's more Scottish than I ever have in my whole life.
I mean, that's literally all I've got, mate, to be honest. Yet this is inexplicably the podcast. 100 Things You Learned from Film. Not any of that fucking guff. Although, maybe, just maybe, we might get some of that sweet, sweet true crime listener podcast stuff.
Oh, God, we'll steal some of their listeners.
Fucking yes, please, son. John, how are you?
I'm alright. I'm sunny side up. It's blazing hot in Scotland, so
It's not hot, John. It's hot.
It's hot. It's
hot.
taps off.
It is, mate.
Taps
It's
off.
taps off.
Yeah, it's on a scale of heat. It's taps off.
It is, mate. Yeah, it's on the Scoville scale. On the Philip Scoville scale, it's let's shag some cats. I don't know. I don't know. So this is the podcast, of course, tries to learn 100 things from every film we talk about. And this week, oh my God, in spite of that terrible opening, it's a patron's choice. So what we do is we've got a wheel, we spin the wheel, it lands on somebody that pays us £1 a month, and that person gets a shout out. The quid goes to help us pay for films that we can't get anywhere else, like having to buy DVDs of Burke and Hare, giving it away, and various other nonsense, as well as kind of topping up charity pots and stuff like that. It landed on Ian McComish, and he is here. A little bit of a soundbite for him to tell you what he's picked and why he's picked it, in spite of me ruining it already. So, Ian, it is over to you.
Gentlemen, before you start trying to find 100 things you can learn from this monstrosity, apart from the obvious, obviously, why you should never watch it again, I think your listener would benefit from a bit of context on your history with this particular picture. The year was 2010, and Planty and I were frequent cinema goers. You could say our trips to the cineworld were unlimited. One evening that October, Mark says to me, "Let's go see Burke and Hare." "You must be kidding," said I, for I had seen the trailers everywhere, and I know a turkey when I see one. "Trust me," says he. "It'll be good," says he. Simon Pegg and Jessica Hines, Andy Serkis and Isla Fisher, in a John Landis joint. How can it fail? "Have you seen the ads?" I said. "It looks awful. They couldn't find a single good joke for the trailer." I warned him. I begged him. I tried to reason. I tried to suggest alternatives, but his mind was made up. And it was his turn to pick the film. I told him, "Fine, but on your head be it. I'm holding you responsible for this." About half an hour into the picture, he turned to me and apologised. I've never walked out in a film, but that day I came close. I wouldn't exactly say I've never forgiven him for it, but I've certainly never let him live it down. So when the magic wheel produced my name, I knew what film it had to be. Maybe it wouldn't be as awful as I remember. Maybe Mark would enjoy it more on a second viewing. Who knows? Well, good luck.
Thank you, Ian, for that, I think. Yeah. I mean, look, let's be honest, it's probably my own fault, I guess. But you would have thought after like 15 years he might have forgiven me by now.
Yeah, certainly. And I'll be honest with you, when they first recommended it, I was like, oh my God, he's a shit to you. But after hearing that, turns out you're the shit and Karma is king.
Fucking, what are you talking about? Like, just shit like this happened.
Imagine it.
We'll pick shit films. He's the man that nearly got us thrown out of the fucking first Despicable Me film for laughing his tits off at the fart gun.
Oh, fart gun.
There's a fart
Classic.
gun. You're a grown
Fart
man,
gun.
Ian. Anyway, enough. Yeah. So if you want to shout out at the end of the episode, and this week something special, I have an insult for all of you. You fucking arseholes. I've written some insults. It's very difficult to do, but I've done it. Go to patreon.com/100thingsfilm, or go to 100thingswelearnfromfilm.co.uk for all of our links and everything we are doing. John, 2010.
Oh God, that's a year.
2010, the year we made contact. That was a follow-up to 2001, wasn't it? Yeah. Helen Mirren.
It doesn't seem that long ago, does it?
15 years, John. 15 years.
Jesus. Right, so going straight in with Town, the one with Ben Affleck movie.
Oh, The Town. The Town, yeah.
Town, aye.
Another one me and Ian went to see together, by the way. There you go.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Remember Me? Do you remember that?
Oh, Twin Towers. Boom! Blammo!
Boom!
Yeah.
Right then. Jesus.
There's nothing funnier than a Twin Towers exploding at the end of a
Oh
film.
no, just standing at the window. Clash of the Titans.
Again, Ian and I went to see that as well. I think that one might have been his choice. So yeah, come on, son, come at me.
13 Assassins.
Okay, yeah.
Prince of Persia.
Ooh, what? Was that only 2010?
Yep,
Fuck
2010, yep. Jesus. Submarine, which I've still not seen.
Don't really like
keep
it as much as I
recommending.
liked his first one.
And one of my favourites, Titanic 2.
Oh, the Titanicing. Yeah. Well aware.
Just like the Croning.
Previous episode of Hallmark of Greatness? Question mark. We've done enough Titanics, so why not? Okay.
What a year.
So yeah, what a fucking year indeed. So we're going to go through the film. There's going to be spoilers. There's going to be historic facts. Join us if you will. Let's see if we can get 100 things. Spoiler, I bet we fucking don't.
No shit. Jesus.
Okay. So it opens. Oh, John, I'm going to ask you to score people's Scottish accents out of 10, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
oh,
think they're all
Jesus.
going to be pretty low.
Well, Simon Pegg was terrible, but he was Irish. So
So he was, yeah. Right, so this cost $10 million to make, by the way, US dollars, and recouped under $4.5 million.
Oh, Jesus, that's murder. Murder.
Absolutely. Ealing Studios. It's our first Ealing Studios film.
Yeah.
At least I thought it was. Turns out it's not. We've got one more. Will Barker bought the White Lodge on Ealing Green in 1902 as a base for filmmaking, and films have been made on the site ever since. It's the oldest continuously working studio facility in film production in the world, and the BBC owned and filmed at the studios for 40 years, from 1955 to 1995.
Right, okay.
Home to the Imaginarium, a production company and studio specialising in performance capture, founded by none other than star of this film, Andy Serkis.
Oh, really? Makes sense, doesn't it? Makes sense.
Previous episode, Shaun of the Dead, was filmed here, as well as the classic Ealing comedies, of course. There's a handful of them I'd absolutely love for us to do. But what I didn't know was the music videos for Mama by the Spice Girls and Champagne Supernova by Oasis were filmed there.
Wow. I didn't know that, yeah. Oh, fact after fact after fact. Blam,
It's a quick start, and then after that, it's like me. And
it's
a good quick start.
It goes with gusto and then peters off.
Who's Peter? We get the credit. This is a true story, except for the parts that are not. Strap in for some lols. Narrator was Bill Bailey here, by the way.
Yeah.
Decent Scottish accent.
I was actually alright.
Probably one of the better ones.
Aye, oh god, aye. Well, they had to have somebody that, especially if you're narrating a film like that, you need somebody that can actually carry it off. So, I done alright.
So he's our narrator, and he's setting the scene. He says it's 1828. Aye. They're in the Market Square in Edinburgh, and he introduces us to Robert Knox, the surgeon, played by R.I.P. by the way, Tom Wilkinson.
Oh, aye, Tom Wilkinson. Yeah. That's a shame.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you kind of forget.
As soon as you say the name, you see the film on. You know, that it's just a shame.
The Royal College of Surgeons that Munro runs, vastly underused Tim Curry in this, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
He looks like he's a minute away from having that stroke, doesn't he?
It really does.
He looks terrible in this. In fact, he looks like he might have had it, and they've propped him up, kind of Weekend at Bernie's style.
They've padded it out a wee bit. Aye, good.
He chops off a foot, and the line is, "That would be an artery." Again,
I
this
reckon
is
something dodges it the way.
it's a shocking accent, this one, isn't
It's
it?
no, I'd give that a 5.
All
I'd give
right,
it a 5.
okay. But you're only giving him extra points because it's Tim
Aye,
Curry.
5 for try. Exactly, yeah. He's my hero. He's my hero. So I was looking at some of this stuff. So 1828. This is when the film is set. One of the notable events was the bank robbery of Glasgow, and there was a tragic church collapse in Kirkcaldy. Kirkcaldy, right, man? All things.
Fifers.
And the Scottish Royal College of Surgeons was founded in 1505,
Oh,
which is
fantastic.
a long time ago.
Certainly was. What else happened in 1828? January the 8th, the Democratic Party of the United States is organised. And they've never been democratic since.
No shit.
June the 23rd, King Miguel I of Portugal overthrows his niece, Queen Maria II, beginning the Liberal Wars.
Wow.
So very
Jesus.
liberal to me.
I know. It's like, any war's no liberal.
September the 7th, the Siebold Typhoon kills approximately 10,000 people in Kyushu, Japan.
That's a fucking James Bond villain thing, that, and it's Cybold thing. Jesus.
Siebold and Kyushu is his kind of sidekick who murders people with a samurai sword. Born in 1882, Jules Verne, French author, and my boy, of course, Leo Tolstoy.
The tall boy.
Deaths, Franz Schubert, the Austrian composer.
Sherbert. Sorry, mate.
Going down the shops to get you some Franz Schubert.
Sherbert.
Maria Fedorovna, who was the Empress of Russia, and Shaka.
Shaka! Your favourite sketch, isn't it, Shaka?
Not Shaka Khan, John, no. Or Shaka Hislop, for that matter. But the most famous of the Zulu chiefs, murdered by his half-brothers at the age of 41.
Jesus.
Too good to be forgotten. Oh, no, that was Amazulu.
Amazulu.
Jesus. We see that Bill Bailey is the hangman. They hanged this woman, old
Mad
Maggie, who's done for just being unkind or something, like loads of things. Being
having a bad attitude.
Yeah, bad attitude. Any last words? I hope it's as hot down there as they say it, Ev. Pulls the travelling book.
Done.
There's some really good hanging in this. Really good hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, when they pull a trap, the body just fucking goes.
Blammo, yeah, it really does. So the last public execution in Edinburgh took place in June 21st, 1864.
Ooh.
George Bryce, known as the Ratho murderer, was hanged at the corner of George the Fourth Bridge and Lawmark.
All right, fantastic. They can only teach anatomy by cutting up freshly dead corpses, we learn. And the law means that it can only take the dead from the hangman. Monroe's passed an edict that they all have to go to him for free. Yeah. So his little mate turns up,
his little minion,
and passes this edict. For fuck's sake, I have to give them up. So there's a market for the dead, we learn. Tom Wilkinson's character, by the way, Knox, his mate is tyres out of space, isn't it? Michael Smiley.
Aye, so yes, so the space characters.
It's really a matter of we're making this film. We need lots of Scottish and Irish people. Let's get my mates in.
A John Landis film, so I noticed that Jenny Agutter was in it, David Schofield and John Woodvine, all from American Werewolf in London.
He is. He doesn't look as good not being John Woodvine, not being in his overcoat, wandering around the lamb. Does he not go in and ask for like a Pernod or something? Pernod and Black in the slaughtered lamb.
Oh, Jesus.
On the subject of Landis, I guess we should do it. Landis's first feature film released in 12 years, John. The previous of that, 1998's Susan's Plan. And his last to date.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This, John, is the film that buried John Landis.
Wow.
Not Oscar,
Jesus.
the Sylvester Stallone gangster movie. Not Blues Brothers 2000, Burke and Hare. And I was there for it. Me and Ian, we were there for it. And he's not grateful. He's not grateful.
Laid to rest.
Like,
let's dig him up. Let's dig him up.
Laid to rest like all those people in the helicopter accident.
In the helicopter,
Yeah.
Jesus. R.I.P.
Anyway, we meet Burke and Hare, the titular Burke and Hare. Irish lads that are selling moss from Donegal to fix what ails you. At one punter realises it's cheese mould and they get run out of the market as snake oil salesmen. But, right, and I'm going to say this isn't funny, but it kind of is. Here's the gag. The point is that cheese mould, yoghurt mould basically, can cure infections.
Mm-hmm.
And arguably, if they'd not turned into grave robbers, they could have been the first people to discover penicillin in the 19th century.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on. Come on, that's quite
give 'em
clever.
something.
But again, I guess you need to be running a film podcast to have even noticed that.
True that, mate. We're on it. We're on it, though.
Apparently.
And he could have cured all the sufferings of Job.
The sufferings of Job.
So the sufferings of Job. So the Book of Job explores the themes of suffering through Job's experiences. So he gets boils, he gets famine. So the boy suffers. He suffers a lot.
I am Job.
I'm Job.
I am Job.
Give me Job.
At the college, Knox is explaining that God created the heavens and the earth, but his greatest work was man. And so by studying anatomy, it's a direct insight into the mind of God. He pulls a blanket off this corpse, which is absolutely rotten,
Right,
full of maggots and
full of
worms.
maggots and falling apart. Green.
Patterson, his right-hand man, Michael Smiley, says Monroe's getting all the fresh corpses. Knox explains the only hope is a natural disaster that'll increase the numbers of the dead. And you're kind of like, okay, you're a prick, but I think you're less of a prick than Monroe.
Oh, aye.
But basically, it's a film of arseholes, isn't it? Every single character in it's awful. Just awful.
They're all terrible. Yeah. The only redeemable one is Simon Pegg's character.
No, but he isn't, because he's still murdering people. He's
still murdering, but he's the only one that's actually got a bit of kindness or a bit of heart.
Yeah, but he just wants to get his end away, doesn't he?
Would you know?
Well, hey, Ali G's wife, mate, not allowed.
Exactly.
It's his.
You're new.
It's his, me Julie.
No, not anymore.
Are they not married anymore? Did they get divorced?
No, it's a messy one, big man.
Is
I'll
it?
tell you about it later.
And they were so happy. The lads head to Hare's house to meet his wife, Lucky. I always want to call her Jessica Stevenson. It's not Jessica Stevenson. It's Jessica Hines. She got married just after after Spaced. So she's been Jessica Hines for longer than she was ever Jessica Stevenson. So yeah, Jessica Hines. Again, Irish accent's atrocious in this.
Yeah.
At least I think. I think Serkis' Irish accent's pretty good.
So, he's always good. He's always been good at accents, even American accents when he was in King Kong.
It's funny. Rachel was watching King Kong the other day when I was recording a podcast, and I came downstairs, and she was watching King Kong. And I think he's the best thing in it, him and the monkey, I guess, But yeah, he's the
way
best.
He dies was gruesome, innit? The way he dies is...
Oh, the penis monsters. Yeah.
What a way to go.
Yeah, he's
Death by snoo snoo.
Death by snoo snoo, indeed. Their lodger, Old Donald, died, so there'll be no rent. Also, they need to get rid of the body. We see him try to squeeze him into a barrel, and the line is, we'll just have to break his back. Which I quite liked. Later, they're pushing the barrel around the city and stop for a pint. This guy throws another bloke out at the pub, and his line is, "What's your language, you son of a bitch bastard?"
He really goes for it, doesn't he?
We learned the lads came here to dig canals, but with no more canals, they need to find another way to make money, John.
Yeah.
Scotland has 5 main canals, listeners, that were built between 1768 and 1822 to transport coal and iron. And you knew, if you know anything on this podcast, that I was going to be talking canals. The first of which was the Crinan. This canal, completed in 1801, runs to Argyll, connecting Loch Gilp with the Firth of Lorne. My favourite kind of sausage.
Oh God, mine too. Had one a day. Double on.
You needed that to do your big training
and haggis.
walk.
Asked for that. So that's the first time this has happened to me. So I asked the lassie for a square sausage and haggis doubler. Doubled up in the lawn and gave me the haggis as well. Like, what? I nearly died, but I still managed it.
No wonder you're knackered. It's not from the walk. It's from all that.
Just try to eat that bloody
scrap.
No.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say you asked her for a square go. Fucking
no,
hell, mate.
Yeah,
it's all happening on a Friday morning in Stirling.
Exactly.
The Monkland Canal, built in the 1770s, it was designed to bring coal from old and new Monkland to Glasgow, but much of it was consumed by the M8 motorway, with only small portions remaining. The Forth and Clyde, built between 1768 and 1790. The canal connected the Forth and Clyde rivers, providing a shortcut across the central belt of Glasgow. Initially designed to transport coal from the mining regions to Glasgow. The Caledonian, completed in 1822, which linked Loch Ness and the Firth of Inverness. And finally, the Union Canal, constructed between 1817 and 1822. The canal connected Edinburgh to the Forth and Clyde Canal. So based on location and year, I think that suggests that they were working on the Union Canal.
Yeah.
Also, we were going to walk the Union Canal, weren't we? That was going to be our walk before we
we're
found
going to be one.
a nice Lake District lake to do.
Yeah, a nice
Instead
one.
of walking past a fucking youth offenders prison in Pol.
No, who knew? Wind them up. Forth and Clyde's mine. That's one I used to walk all the time, being a Glasgow boy. So it was cutting right through Clydebank.
Yeah. We meet Fergus in the pub. He works for Mr. McTavish. Fergus, of course, Schofield, as you mentioned before, and he's a gangster that used to dig up bodies, but the militia are patrolling the graveyard now, so they're getting into whoring instead. I mean, it's a natural progression.
Yeah.
He explains a body is worth £3, but the shortage may be double. This gives the lads of an idea with what to do with old Donald. While discussing heaven and mortal remains, they let the barrel loose and end up chasing it down the streets, don't they?
Up and down the street.
Which is quite good. They only catch it after it smashes a window of a shop. Patterson talking to Knox at the door. These two gentlemen with a herring barrel are here to see you. I have no taste for herring. He said, I think there's something else in the barrel, sir. It's very good.
Wink, wink.
They haggle over the body. They want 6, and he gives them 5, which would have been £461 today.
Bloody hell, really?
Yeah. I'd dig someone up for 461 quid.
That's a PlayStation right there.
They head to Greyfriars Churchyard to dig up a corpse, all whilst being watched by
Greyfriars Bobby.
Greyfriars Bobby, yeah.
Because it's a real depiction, because it was looking over the grave of his master.
Yeah, that's right. A Skye Terrier that lived from 1855 to 1872. Not too shabby. The story is that Bobby belonged to John Gray, who worked at the Edinburgh City Police as a night watchman. When John Gray died, he was buried in Greyfriars Kirkyard, surrounding the kirk in the old town of Edinburgh. Bobby then became known locally, spending the rest of his life sitting on his master's grave. It is said the dog sat there for 14 years, and when he died, he was given his own grave in the churchyard near his master.
Oh man!
Yeah, imagine trying to do that today. Imagine trying to get your dogs buried next to you.
The only one to get away with that would be Lewis Capaldi.
Yeah.
That fucking video, man, gets me every time, man. See when I'm drinking and watch that. Oh.
Maybe stop drinking and watching it. Well, I would keep drinking, but I've just stopped watching Lewis Capaldi's videos. That's a very different thing. There's a little statue at the top of George Bridge, if you can get near it, for fucking tourists.
Yep, rubbing its nose.
Yeah, and its balls. Of course, Greyfriars Bobby John, not to be confused with your porn name, Greyfriars Bobby.
Bobby. Greyfriars Bobby.
As they're opening this coffin, here's the militia. They make a dash for it and get away, but not without Billy Burke getting shot in the bum. There's this gay panic joke where they get caught looking at one another's bums. It's bad. They get to Hare's and Lucky's hammered. She explains that Joseph, another lodger, is dead too. The lads head up to his room, and it's Lord Summerisle.
Yeah, it really is. Just like, I couldn't believe it.
Disappointed Count Dooku. You're right, Joe. Yeah, look all right, you dirty Irish bastards. It's a good accent, this.
It's a good accent. Yeah. He's got the gruff voice for it, so I'll give that a solid 8.
Okay. He was just sleeping. He's talking about the times at the Napoleonic Wars, and I saw the wee man himself, Napoleon. The lads sit on him and kill him is the thing. Because he's coughing, he's not very well, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you deserve a dignified death." Dignified death, just sitting on him to death.
Sitting on him.
And they of course know what to do with the corpse. Down at the pub, the boys are pretending to be William Wordsworth and his mate, which it's okay. At the table, there's a bunch of women talking about putting on an all-female version of Macbeth. This is Jenny, and her fellow actors and prostitutes.
Yes.
Ginny explains that she needs someone to invest. She jumps up and starts doing a piece from Macbeth, Willie hears this and approaches her. He's obviously taken by her amazing Scottish accent, John.
Oh, he's smitten with that
Yeah.
that Australian / Scottish hybrid.
He knows they belong together.
Oh God, aye, Jesus.
Funny, Rachel started watching House from the start the other day, and I came downstairs and I went, "Oh, look, it's Billy," and she went,
Is
"Who?"
Billy in it?
And I went,
Billy
"Billy,
Kennedy?"
our Neighbours." And she went, "Oh, is that what he was
Billy-
called?" I was like, "Don't you pretend."
I
You pretend
know,
you didn't know who Billy Kennedy was.
Don't you kid me on. Don't you kid me on. Do you want hear my story about my neighbours related
Oh,
thing?
go on then.
So Carl Kennedy had an affair with his receptionist back in the day. She was hot. Her name was Kimberly something. Do you know what? I went to a meet and greet in Hot Shots in Glasgow, and I met her, got a kiss, and I got a card with her signature on it.
Oh,
And for
hey.
life of me, I don't know whether I know. Back in the day, big man. Back in the day before phone party. Brilliant.
Jesus Christ. Old men just about remember things. That's what this is. Who is this for?
I'll never forget that though. Jesus, what a
You
kiss.
just forgot where you put the card. At the surgeons' meeting, Lord Harrington explains that the king was decided that whoever's made the biggest advance in medicine in Edinburgh in the next month will be awarded the royal seal and a cash prize.
Ooh. And what do bodies make? Prizes!
Stink. Back at the pub, Willie's learning from Ginny that she's always been an actor, but as times are hard, she's had to branch out into what she calls physical acting.
The physical is like,
Oh.
like acrobatics.
Aye, sometimes. It's good. Knox explains that he plans on creating a map of the human body. Monroe, of course, suggests it's impossible. But back at his offices, he's had this huge fucking camera built, hasn't he? This massive
Oh, it's huge, isn't
camera,
it? Yeah.
which will photograph the cadavers.
Aye.
The French lad's taking the pictures calls it a heliographic, and he says, "We shall have to find a better name than that."
Aye.
And there's this whole thing, right? And I wrote nothing down about the French guy because I'd forgotten the thing at the very, very end where it's like, where it basically just tries to just play with history, doesn't it? At the end,
Aye.
it's just like that.
Yeah.
Kind of. Oh well, yeah, he was actually this chap who
Experimenting
invented
on
the
these things.
fucking camera, and yes, he's meant to be him. But it's just so fucking twee. And I know this is a facts podcast, but I was so sickened by that particular bit that I didn't do anything.
Did you know?
No,
look
I
up?
didn't.
I did. I just looked up the earliest surviving photograph. So the earliest surviving photograph was created by someone called Joseph Nepis.
That's this guy.
Nepis?
That's this guy.
Nepis?
Yeah, he invented
In
the camera.
1826 or 1827. So that's the earliest surviving photograph.
Fantastic, great work.
I don't know. I don't think it was of a dead body though. I think it was like a window depiction.
Oh wow, like the start of The Last of Us Part 1.
Aye.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
With the
know.
ivy. Oh
You
mate, we know.
Back at Hare's, they decide to keep the plan to themselves, lest Lucky drink the profits. Hare tells Burke that they can help along the corpse a little. Burke's not having it. But Hare says Ginny's expensive. The plan is to push a drunk down some steep steps, which they do, only for him to land on his feet and walk away.
And walk away.
It's brilliant.
In typical fashion,
I
really,
mean,
innit?
it was indeed Paul Whitehouse. Yeah,
Oh, Whitehouse.
fantastic.
I was expecting Bob Mortimer to be somewhere. I was expecting. But
Oh no, he's
not
busy
to be.
fishing.
Not to be.
It's most of it's filmed at Edinburgh Castle, by the way. You can kind of see all these steep steps and all these lanes and things.
Yeah.
It's all within the castle. Edinburgh Castle is the most besieged castle, John, in Great Britain. It was attacked 23 times throughout its history. The last siege at the castle took place in 1745 when the Jacobite rebellions were fought to try and restore the Stuart monarchs to power. I assume the Ouija's are yet to organise their siege.
Aye, they'll
Turn
do
up with
it later.
bottles of Bucky and
They'll do it when the weather's better.
Edinburgh Castle sits on an extinct volcano. The hill it is built on is known as Castle Rock, a volcanic plug that was formed following an eruption more than 340 million years ago. Now, that is the disaster film I want to see.
That's ready to happen, isn't it?
Wouldn't that be
don't
good?
Don't worry about Arthur's Seat. Just worry about Castle Rock.
Castle Rock. Take that, Princess Street, tourist wankers. You can tell I lived in Edinburgh how much I hate tourists to Edinburgh.
I think we had this discussion. We were watching
The Angels shit.
Aye, no, the one with the bikers.
Oh
Northern people.
yeah. Wild Natives or whatever that was called.
Aye.
Previously,
Restless Natives.
Restless Natives. Yeah.
Aye.
Tourist man. Hey.
Fucking ruin everything, didn't
Oh
he?
mate, coming up here.
Aye, or gone to Spain, wrecking the place.
Coming up here, eating our shortbread. Something.
Oh, don't start. There's a shortage, you know.
Shortbread.
Shortbread.
Jesus Christ. There's another plan instead to cause this carriage to stop on the coast. Fuck me, this scene.
Oh,
They're chopping a tree down. It's basically Roadrunner.
I know.
Chopping the tree down to stop the Roadrunner. And I didn't really know if the plan was to kill the horses or to kill the people in the carriage or what. So it falls right in front of the carriage, but instead of stopping, the horses drive them over the edge and over the cliff and into the sea. Of course, John, the person within that, was director of Death Wish 1, 2 and 3.
Dinner. Like a
Michael
winner.
He was taking a death wash in this bit, wasn't he? Calm down, dear. It's only a comedy film.
I still can't believe it did that. It's
Awful,
crazy.
Awful, man. Wasn't he just awful?
Yeah, it was a shit.
Pervert. Anyway. They chase down this massive fat guy who's singing, isn't he? He's singing this
Yeah, no, him. I'm sure he was in River City or something.
Oh, is it the big lad from River City?
The big lad, aye. And
Was
then
he
he
meant to be
slimmed right
Aberdonian or
down, didn't he?
something?
Aye, yeah.
Because there was that woman that was meant to be Aberdonian who sounded about as Aberdonian as me.
Oh, God. What's a car in? No. That kind of...
Yeah, he was. He was the big lad out of River City.
was a
Load
big boy.
of shite, River City. And is that still on?
No, they've canned
Good.
it after all these
Good. They
years.
should have got
No,
rid of
recently
it
they've just
fucking
canned it. Aye.
donkeys ago, man.
What is it? Shell suit Bob or something?
Yeah,
Tracksuit Bob?
tracksuit Bob.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, listeners, if you've never spent any time in Scotland at all, think EastEnders with no fucking budget set in Glasgow.
Yeah. It wasn't even as good as Brookside, man.
No, mate, it was Crossroads level.
Aye.
Crossroads level
yeah,
shite. Yeah, I think that was him. Oh, good, well noticed. So they chase him down, and the whole thing here is Serkis comes at him shrieking with his hammer and sickle, and I was like, one of the comrades, here he is. And he dies of what's basically a heart attack, doesn't he?
A heart attack, yeah.
And then we smash cut to Knox, and he's like, this gentleman's death was a direct result of gluttony.
Just starts shaking his belly. Like, what the
That's
hell?
great. I mean, it's what's going to kill me, listeners, except I hope I go like that bloke with the cans of spaghetti sauce in 7.
Oh, God, aye. Yeah, just keep going. Just keep going.
Come on.
Keep going until you hear something tear.
Knox, by the way, listeners, loads of big names have played Knox in film and TV. Tom Wilkinson, Alistair Sim, your fave, John, Peter Cushing.
Yep, the old cushion.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart. And Leslie Phillips in a Doctor Who audio drama.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. Knox wrote a number of books on anatomy, but apparently his best-known work and most profitable was, get this, titled Fish and Fishing in the Lone Glens of Scotland, with a history of the propagation, growth and metamorphosis of the salmon.
That rolls right off the tongue, didn't it?
Can you imagine the old boy with the yellow pages ringing? Hello, do you have Fish and Fishing in the Lone Glens of Scotland with the history of propagation, growth, metamorphosis of salmon by Dr. Robert Knox?
My name? Oh, Dr. Knox.
Opportunity Knox.
Oh,
Knox is commemorated in the scientific name of a species of African lizard, John, the Meroles knoxi. Old Foxy Knoxy.
Old Knoxy. Oh.
I mean, there's some great facts about him. I love that.
Did it have anything about him working in the Americas?
Yes, but I'm saving that for the end.
Good man. Good man.
Hare gets home and Lucky's made his favourite, Arbroath Smoky and Champit Tatties. Yes, please. She says she knows what they're doing and she wants a quid a body to stay safe. To stay quiet.
Right.
Arbroath Smokies, John, haddock, salt and wood smoke, and that's your lot.
That's it. That's all she wrote.
The Arbroath Smoky has a protected status under European law, PGI status, meaning it can only be called an Arbroath Smoky if produced in the traditional manner and within a 5-mile radius of the fit of the tune.
Right.
There you go.
That's like what is it? Is it there's something that is being preserved? I think it's is it the pie? Something like that.
Oh, the killie pie.
Well, any pie, because the people keep changing the way they make it, and they're like, no, it's got to be made the traditional way, and I'm sure they say it's going to be sort of protected status.
Like a
Might
Scotch
just
pie.
be like a
Made with
like a
like
normal
brains and that. Yeah, go on then. Brains and
Aye.
arseholes.
Aye.
I'll have 2.
Haggis. Haggis pie.
I'll have 2. That night in the pub, Burke's bought Ginny champagne and tells her he's going to finance the show. McTavish is watching on and wants to know how on earth he can afford champagne. William walks Ginny home and explains it's her that he's interested in, not the show. But he doesn't get as much as a kiss. And this is the thing throughout, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every time he's kind of like, well, come on, shall we?
Lean
it's
in,
kind of
yeah.
like, no, it's
like
tomorrow
a carry
because
on.
I've got a
It's
reason.
a carry on thing, that, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think if they were a little bit heavier on it, it would have been better. But yeah, I don't think it's great.
Aye.
The lads discuss earning some more money in the pub. The barmaid explains the old lady in the corner lost her whole family to the pox and is homeless. So they get her drunk and murder her with a bedpan.
Right.
What a way to go. At the auditions, Jenny Agato's trying out, and she's terrible.
Aye, yeah.
Wafting
She's
this
really
fucking
bad.
sword around
Yeah.
like someone else. I killed my daddy, my daddy.
Oh, God. Just so weird to
Crying
see Jenny
just
there,
thinking
isn't it?
about it. And now there's this gruff Scotsman in a dress, and he's just like, my name is, I don't know, Sarah whatever, and I'll be, and she's like, next, and it's funny because it's 2010, and apparently we're all pricks about trans people.
Well.
Yeah, fuck this fucking film. After the show, old Berkey tells Ginny that she should play Macbeth. As he's leaving, McTavish collars him and tells him anyone starting a business needs to pay him protection. He wants half. He says, oh, but he hasn't even told you the good part yet. Yeah, what's the good part? You get to remain alive. Okay. Burke suggests they should leave town, London or America, and Hare explains of a lucrative racket. The best way to keep Ginny happy is keep giving her money. Later, whilst practicing the play, she explains to Burke she doesn't know why Macbeth commits murder, and he tells her that he does it because of love. She kisses him and thanks him, but refuses to see him that night because they've got costume fitting the next day. Harrington's taken a look at the pictures of the body as taken by Knox and his photographer and says the king will love them. Knox says, I shall call them photographs.
And the photograph was invented.
Yeah, exactly. Knox did not create the name photographs, listeners. There you go. Why, John?
Why the line?
Why must this bullshit
Why?
John Landis film like us?
Why?
They upped the numbers by getting lads and murdering them at the lodgings, including, true story, a freed slave. One of the men that they killed was a freed slave, which is obviously this black chap. And he gets them up against them. I love the way he lifts them up. How strong he must have been.
I know.
It's
Yeah,
good work. We get a montage of the lads murdering loads of people and the militia being inundated with complaints.
Wee Ronnie Corbett. Born in Edinburgh, by the way.
Ronnie Corbett is born in Edinburgh, yeah.
Yeah. Who knew?
Me. I tell you what about Ronnie Corbett as well. In 2014, he was one of 200 public figures who were signatories to a letter to The Guardian expressing their hope that Scotland would vote to remain as part of the United Kingdom in that year's referendum.
Oh, really?
Ronnie Corbett, fucking scab. There you go.
Oh.
I know. You know. I'm sorry because I knew that one would upset you. I knew that one would upset you. As two lads that voted for the freedom of Scotland.
Aye,
fucking scab, mate. I'm not having it. I'm English and I wanted you to get it.
Aye, I'm not, a lot of my English mates are like, man, you just need to get away from us. We're fucking self-destructing ourselves. Oh.
Still. Alex and Nicola, what could have gone wrong? Eek.
No, I know. Fucking hell.
It might have been a bullet dodged, in fairness.
Aye, true.
Knox has enough bodies, he tells us, to do a multiple dissection. He's got like 5 bodies around him. I'm just doing a multiple dissection.
A bit.
Mate, you need to be stopped.
I know.
Burke spots all the missing people posters and explains to Hare they're closing in. But Hare says they don't need to do it anymore because they have enough money for this plan of Lucky's a funeral parlour.
Yeah.
Which, okay.
That's alright.
People will bring us their bodies and we can just dispose of them.
Yeah.
Sometime later, the show opens. Ginny says, I don't know how to thank you. And he's like, I can. Hare's like, oh, I can think of a few ways. And like Burke's like, stop it, shut. McTavish explains to Hare that he wants to bring them in as partners. He says, we're out of the body snatching game. Do I have a choice? He says, of course. It's what separates us from man and beast. Smash cut to Knox dissecting McTavish.
I know.
What a bunch of bad bastards. The militia turn up and McClintock explains that he knows Knox is at it. He says, I'll stake my job on it. He says, you just have.
It's quite good.
The show opens and it is, of course, rubbish. It's terrible.
No.
In fact,
bad.
I guess the people that are in this who aren't doing very good acting then have to act that they are acting in a show that isn't very good acting.
That's quite impressive.
So, yeah, are these bad actors doing bad acting? Or, I don't know.
Yeah. It hurts your head, doesn't it? But it's really bad. The witchy scene as well. You're like, what the fuck?
We see McClintock in Knox's lab with all the pictures and body parts. They see it's all the missing people in the photos. And your man, Panettone or whatever he's called, is there.
Panettone.
Yeah, and
it's a me.
And he says, who's responsible for this? And as you say, he goes, yeah, me. And, you go, oh. And that's kind of funny because of because there's misunderstanding and farce.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't really get farces anymore. Maybe this is why. After the show, it's a success. Strangely, Burke explains to Ginny that she doesn't need him, but she does want him. Just not tonight, tomorrow. Manana. The military turn up at Knox's. Patterson sends them to Holyrood, where he is with the king. Not far to go, of course, John. About 1.5 miles from the castle to Holyrood Palace. And it's fucking downhill, so it's all right.
Aye.
So you'd have to fucking go back.
Do that in my sleep.
We learn the king fell
rolled down that in a barrel.
We learn the king fell asleep looking at the foot in the jar that Monroe bought him. Knox is about to go in when McTavish shows wanted to arrest him. He refuses to let him have the book for evidence. Meanwhile, Burke's getting ready for his night out, for his night with Ginny. Under questioning, Knox explains there were 16 cadavers and they were used in the picture. As Burke and Ginny are getting close, the militia arrest them. Oh, for Lord Jesus Christ! Both Lucky and Hare are arrested too. We're almost there, listeners. You'll be pleased to know. John, you'll be pleased to know.
There's a quick one in it. There's a quick one.
In the cells, McTavish questions Lucky. I'm saying nothing to a Presbyterian. It's I'm half Jewish. I demand to speak to a Catholic.
That's very funny.
The paper suggests one of the lads killed was called Daft Wee Jimmy. I quite like.
Wee mad mental Jimmy.
The locals are demanding that the boys are murdered for their misbehaviour, and they make their way to the castle. In the cell, Willie explains he can admit everything, and Hare suggests this will put a noose around his, Lucky's, and Ginny's neck. McClintock threatens them with 16 counts of murder, to which Hare says, do you have the bodies, witnesses, even a shred of evidence? And then McClintock hands him the portfolio. There's all the evidence they need, basically. Harrington and the Lord Provost don't want this scandal over the city and the teaching hospitals. John Woodvine, you've already mentioned from American Werewolf. They promise McClintock that he could be colonel if he keeps it hush-hush. They burn the photographs from the portfolio. In the cells, McTavish tells them one of them can admit to the crime and the others can be set free. Burke agrees to on one condition. Smash cut to Ginny in the cell with him. She thinks it's romantic that he's doing this for her, and they finally do it.
So this is the thing. In many other countries, conjugal rights or conjugal visits is permitted, but not in the UK.
Oh, really?
I thought it was a thing, but it turns out it's no.
It's just where you shag the fat lad in the jail, isn't it?
Exactly. So whoever's bending over to pick up his soul. Oh, and another one, militia. I didn't know this. Militia is a Latin word meaning malice or evil design.
Oh, good work. Fantastic. We now get Burke with a rope round his neck in front of a baying crowd. Anything to say before you're confined to hell? I did it for love. And the door's pulled and he drops.
Yeah.
Under the platform, Bill Bailey explains he made the ultimate sacrifice for love. But he did kill all those people for money, and that's just evil. And then he gets handed a bag of coins for the corpse.
So he did that.
That's quite funny. Monroe's assistant, we learn, was Charles Darwin. And then he went on to write The Origin of Species. True story. Got a copy. I think I've got like a 1932 copy somewhere on this shelf here. Not signed. He was dead by then. Burke's corpse is dissected by Monroe. Now, where shall I start? The feet.
The feet, right. Get the feet off.
Hare and Lucky became funeral directors with the Royal Seal. Knox went to the New World where anything goes. Wilkinson rips this heart out of a corpse, doesn't he? And holds
Everybody's
it up in
like,
the air. And then Smiley's playing the piano with his cigar on. And the crowd are all shooting in the air. He's like a dancing
Doc Brown
girl.
standing behind the cloak.
But here's a fact, John. Didn't happen.
Oh, liars.
Did not happen.
Liars.
Exactly. And we get the credits to 500 Miles. 500 Miles by the Proclaimers.
Yeah, where we skeletal version of...
there's the
and
skeleton there. And it's
Museum.
actually Hare's skeleton, isn't it?
That's his, yeah.
Skellington. 1988 hit in the UK, but John, when it was featured in the 1993 film Benny and June, you know that one.
Oh, really?
Terry Scott and June Whitfield. It got a re-release. 42 in the stupid, sexy Flanders Ultrapop. 40 in West Germany. 36 in the Toblerone and Cuckoo Clocks Swiss chart. It's easy for me to say. 4 in Canada A and 1 in Mum's Gone to Iceland, Straya and New Zealand Prisoned.
Nice. I love that song, man.
It's a good
Makes
song.
me happy.
It's a good song. John, I've got so much more stuff. You go for it and I'll fill in the gaps.
Right. So, depending on who you talk to, they killed 16 people, but somebody says it was a 17th, but I couldn't break it down. London saw the emergence of the first commercial undertakers in 1765. There you go.
Nice. Fantastic.
That's
So again, why, John? Why must films lie to us?
Liars.
The murders raised public awareness of the need for bodies for medical research and contributed to the passing of the Anatomy Act 1832.
Is that when everybody had to promise to give them their bodies when they went for their chariot's license?
The Scottish Enlightenment, we learn it's in the Scottish Enlightenment. The Scottish Enlightenment was a period of 18th and early 19th century Scotland characterised by an outpouring of intellectual and scientific accomplishments. And now look at the state of us, you can't even fucking remember a password.
Nah, no shit.
Has there ever been an all-female Shakespeare production, John? The trilogy, staged by Donmar Warehouse, featured an entirely female cast with actors playing the roles of prisoners, attending a drama group, performing 3 of Shakespeare's most famous plays: Julius Caesar, Henry IV, and I forgot there for a second, Henry IV, and The Tempest. There you go, The Tempest. A mort safe or a mort cage was a construction designed to protect graves from disturbance. You've seen these. They always put them online and they go, it's to stop zombie uprisings. No, it was quite the
greats.
Yeah. The mort safe was invented around 1816. Iron or iron and stone devices of great weight in many different designs. Often they were complex, heavy iron contraptions of rods and plates, which are padlocked together. Examples have been found close to all Scottish medical schools.
Oh, those
there you go.
sneaky wee Scots.
Knox never went to the US. He went to London and worked at the Free Cancer Hospital. He died in London in 1862.
Right.
Finally, David Tennant was originally cast as William Hare, but had to drop out shortly before filming began because NBC, for whom he'd recently shot a pilot, declined to release him to shoot the film for fear of scheduling problems if the pilot picked up.
Oh, right, okay.
But I couldn't find out what the film was.
Oh, that's annoying.
I know.
We'll need to see
What
what
the
was doing
TV
at
show
that
was.
time then.
Yeah, and that's all I've got. So while I top them up, John, let's see. Your record's pretty good. So let's see if you can get this.
It's decent, isn't it? It's decent. I'm going to go 76.
Oh, 68.
Oh,
One off the sexy.
you here.
There you go. Could we have done better? Yes. Does
Yes.
Ian deserve it? No.
No.
Fantastic stuff. So if you like what we do, I mean, if you like this, we're fucking quids in. But yeah, if you like what we do, give us a quid and we will give you a shout out every episode. Again, 100 things we learned from film. .co.uk or patreon.com/100 things film. If you can give any more, that would also help. I know times are tough at the minute, but turns out Apple are taking 30% of everything that fucking people are donating. and then Patron take their slice. So actually, we're making like 50p if you're doing it through the Apple thing. So if you are, cancel your Apple thing and start it up again just through the web browser, and that way we'll at least probably get 80p instead of the like the 50p we're getting at the minute. Not that we're doing it for the money, but you know. So lovely patrons. Here is your shout out and or insult. Right, starting with Kurt, you sheepshagger. Gadget, you broom drinking dweeb. Stig, still going to films on your own, you fucking nerd. Candy, soft southern shandy drinker. Oodles, arseholes more like. Biggie, Le Grand Merd. James, Terracy, twat. This is so hard because James is lovely.
I feel bad even listening to this.
Lee Davis, I don't know you, but I bet you're a jerk. Jen, slow walking shit. Smug tosser Rob Jones. How can I be mean to lovely Rob Jones? How is this possible? Megan, you miniature painting prick. Dale, another fucking Geordie gobshite. Ali's a grebo. These are people that buy us pints, John. Pay for the films that we watch.
And you're doing this to them.
I
love it.
This? Paul Parks, Marvel movie alliteration arsehole. That's quite a good one, actually. I like that. Nigel Davis, model making Hobbit. Mono and Kira, Stargate shit. It's a big pile of shit. Ian Graham, Jazz Wanker. Dan Belson, Gavin Belson, the Tosser twins. They aren't even twins. This is horrible.
Yeah.
Josh Wilson, talented man, rubbing it in our stupid fat faces like a man that didn't waste his formative years. What a twat. By the way, that music that you heard at the opening was specifically for Edinburgh Murders. Was one of Joshua's pieces of work. It's fantastic. A link to his Spotify and Apple Music in the thing. So thank you for letting us use that. You fucking yank.
He's so talented. I hate them.
I hate him so much. I hate him. Gav McGill, you fucking hobbit. Joe, see that Dr. Roger on Castaway? That's you, that is. Phil. I did Phil a couple of weeks ago. Do you think I need to? You might still be mad.
No, leave him.
Aaron Huggett, undead, brain dead more like. Ian McComish, I mean, what can I say about him that this choice of film hasn't already? And Rachel, my wife, the one that you're all waiting for. I know you are. And I like being left alone to talk shit films with John just once a week. So I'm saying nothing bad about her.
Yeah.
At least not on a podcast.
Not to her face or.
So yeah, thank you, because quite a few of you have been like bugging me, going, "You used to be really horrible to us, and we liked it." I'm like, mate, I'm not here for your fetish. You know what I mean?
If it pays, get the bodies rolling.
Pay more, and I will just fucking abuse you in like a TikTok video or something.
True that.
That's what I'll do. Yeah. Give us a $5, like a one-off $5, and I'll just fucking abuse you. And you can, I don't know.
Record it, listen to it as you go to sleep.
That's fine. Yeah. Like the waves outside. Anyway, look. That's it for another week. We're going to be back next week as we get closer and closer. John, we're 3 weeks away, less than 3 weeks away from our big walk, aren't we?
Yeah, it's something I'm looking forward to. I've done some training today, so my legs are absolutely killing me. But do you know what? It's worth it. It really is all worth it.
It is. So we're doing that for James, Allan, and Teesside Hospice. So the links in the in the show notes. But next week, John, do you remember what we're talking
Cannonball
about?
Run, big man.
Cannonball Run. Now, I haven't seen Cannonball
It's been a
Run
long
since I was an
time.
adult.
Dom DeLuise, that's all I remember.
Let's fucking see how bad this is. Outtakes at the end, though. So,
they're always funny.
That's I'm looking forward to that bit.
Is it Captain Chaos? Is it?
Captain Chaos. Oh shit, yeah.
Jesus, remember that? Jesus.
And Sammy Davis Jr.
I know, as a priest.
Jr. facts on the go.
God.
Yeah. Jesus.
Fucking a whole Rat Pack's in it, is it? No.
No, that's the second one.
No.
Anyway, we'll do all this next week. But for now, I've been Plenty, he's been John, and this has been 68 things we've learned from the history of Edinburgh and Burke and Hare. See ya.
See you guys.